a heavy heart. All of you know how hard we have tried. But it is a matter of sadness that streets are today being spattered with the blood of my brothers. And the cry we hear from people is a cry for freedom, is a cry for survival, is a cry for our rights. You are the ones who brought about a victory so you could see a constitutional government restored. The hope was that the elected representatives of the people sitting in the National Assembly would formulate a constitution that would assure the people of their economic, political, and cultural emancipation. But now, with great sadness in my heart, I look back at our history and see nothing but a history of shedding the blood of our people. Ours has been a history of continual lamentation, repeated bloodshed, and innocent tears. I agreed to join the deliberations. I even went to the extent of saying that we would listen to any sound ideas from the minorities, even if it was a lone voice. I committed myself to support anything that would bolster the restoration of a constitutional government. Come, I said, let us sit down and resolve matters. But suddenly the session was cancelled. There was an immediate outcry against this move by the people. I called for a hartal as a form of peaceful protest, and the people took to the streets in response. And what did we get as a response? He turned his guns on my people. A people with no arms to defend themselves. These were the same arms that had been bought, that had been purchased with our own money to protect us from external enemy. But it is my own people who are being fired upon today. In the past too, each time we try to assert our rights, we try to control our destiny, they conspired against us. I have asked them this before. How can you make your own brothers the target of your bullets? I had said, you are the president of this country. Come and see how our poor people have been shot down by your bullets. Come and see how the lives of my mothers and sisters have been left empty and bereft. Come and see how my helpless people have been slaughtered. Come, I said. Come and see for yourself and then decide. Then be the judge and decide. Let me tell you that the Prime Ministership is not what I seek. What I want is justice. What I want is the rights of the people of this land. They tempted me with the Prime Ministership. but they failed to buy me over. Nor did they succeed in hanging me on the gallows. For you rescued me with your blood from the so-called conspiracy case. I now declare the closure of all courts, offices, and educational institutions for an indefinite period of time. The Secretariat, Supreme Court, High Court, Judges' Courts, and all government offices shall remain shut. Banks may open only for 2 hours for business transactions. The people of this land are facing elimination. So be on guard. If need be, we will turn everything into a fortress. We will bring everything to a total standstill. Collect your salaries on time. If the salaries are held up, if a single bullet is fired upon us henceforth, if the murder of my people does not cease, I call upon you to turn every home into a fortress. Put whatever you can put your hands on to confront this enemy. Every last road must be blocked. We will deprive them of food. We will deprive them of water. And even if I'm not around, and if my associates are also not to be found, I ask you to continue your movement unabated. I say to them again, you are my brothers. Go back to the barracks where you belong, and no one will bear any hostility towards you. But if you choose the other path, then there will be no chance of us being together. That means we cannot coexist. Do not attempt to aim any more bullets at our hearts. It will not do any good. If we can peaceably settle our differences, there's still hope if we can coexist as brothers. Otherwise, we may never face one another again. The struggle this time is for freedom. The struggle this time is for emancipation. The struggle this time is for independence.